Those of you who follow me may have seen that I posted a video and then it was shortened, and so I've been invited to redo the reading and offer a different little spin on this. So if you're new to me and new to my readings, hello and welcome in. And if you are not new, hello and welcome back. First things first, let's talk about what retrograde energy is. So retrograde energy is when a planet appears to be moving backwards in the sky from the position that we are in here on Earth. So I like to think of retrogrades, and this Saturn retrograde is reviewing the energies of Saturn. So what does Saturn as a planet represent in our lives? As a planet, it represents discipline, structure, and routine. It represents this part of our life where we're setting up habits and things that we do on a daily basis that are supporting us or not supporting us in our lives. And so it's not discipline in the way of like yelling or scolding or, you know, that kind of discipline. It's actually discipline like humanitarian aspect of this Aquarian energy. You can choose whatever energy you want to. The way that this all works is whatever your intentions are, that's what's going to come through for you. So if there's a different focus of the Aquarian energy that you want to have, and you want to use this discipline review to help you be more inventive or help you be more original or help you with your rebellious side, you can totally do that. But I feel collectively right now, there is this need for us to show up for each other, to show up in community, to show up for about these are messages for you from the divine, from whoever it is that you communicate with. So if you believe in the spirit, then you're speaking to spirit. If you believe in the universe, then that's the energy that's coming through. If you have a grandma who's passed or a loved one who's passed that always communicates to you, you can bring them into this reading and hear advice from them. So it's really individual, but it all works energetically to support you. My other goal with this reading, help to spark something in you, that they help to validate for you something that you already know, that they help to get you more in touch with that knowing that exists within your heart. It's right here. And it's always there, very quietly loving you and guiding you. And I want you to be able to hear that voice through this reading that I do and through all the readings that I do. Speaking of all the readings that I do, I have a bunch of readings that are active right now. The advice is relevant. So please go ahead and check out Devoted and Vulnerable's YouTube page, Facebook page, and or our website. And the readings page, Devoted Vulnerable. The link is in the description here. Okay. Woo! Are you guys ready to get started? You're going to need to do just a little bit of research to get started. Those of you who played before, you'll need your top tropical chart. If you don't know what the tropical chart is or how to find it, you can go to the link in the description for how to find your birth chart information, how to run your birth chart. The tropical chart will be the first chart on Astro Cafe's chart generating page once you enter in your birth data. If you don't know your birth time, which you will need for the chart, you can watch my video on how those who are close to you in birth and age, they may have the same Saturn vibration. So as you're listening to your reading, it might be really relevant for the people in your age group that are close to you. And so Saturn, it doesn't really matter your birth time unless on the day that you were born, Saturn was moving signs, and then you need to know what time. But it's in the same sign for 2.5 years. About. So it is this energy that kind of is like, it's, you know, not quite school grade, you know, it's like a two classes that it covers, 2.5 classes if you're talking about like grade school. Or this is a card that already came through. It wanted to come back through and speak to us. I'm just going to put it right here. Again, you can always pause the video to spend more time with the card. And what I mean is to get guidance, to get energy, to like look at the symbols that are speaking to you, just feel the energy and the vibration of what's coming through for you. So with this Saturn retrograde, we're really intending that we rearrange, review, shift our focus on our discipline and our routine and the structure in our lives. And the advice for all of it is a shorter period of time. It happens more times a year. This is a longer period. We get to really go in deep and look at how we can change our structures and routines so that we can help the human collective. But building inner trust for all of us is the most important thing that the Sacred Rebel deck with Alana Fairchild wanted to say. I will read from the booklet. Okay. Though it may be cloaked and hidden, within you lies natural magnificence, vibrancy, and true uniqueness. The harder this is for you to believe, the more is that our discipline, our structure, our routines, the ones that aren't based in helping us to be authentic in our expression, those are the ones that are going to be released. They're going to be identified during this retrograde period. And we're going to be moving into habits, structures, routines, a discipline within our own selves, within our own lives that help us be our real true self, that help us to activate the natural magnificence, vibrancy, and true uniqueness within us. It goes on to say, you are being assured that you can trust your intuition and your own sense of things. Sometimes what you sense of, and you will open your heart and move easily towards the source of that authentic and self-loving way to deal with it. Perhaps you have drawn this card because you are unnecessarily holding yourself back out of fear or a lack belief in your ability to support and care for yourself, or in the importance of your need for self-expression in your relationships. I'm not reading from Star Wars. I'm reading from the Sacred Rebel deck by Alana Fairchild. And so what this is saying is that as we start to trust our intuition, as we start to trust that wise instinctive voice that is within us, and that you know what you're doing, you have enough wisdom and intuition to be able to place yourself more fully in the world, to take the steps to unhide yourself. Even if you feel you have no clue about what is happening at a broader level in your life, even if you can't quite see the whole picture of what is taking place within and around you, you still have all the wisdom and intuitive ability you need to take one step at a time and navigate your way through absolutely anything that life brings to your door. You know what you're doing. You know what you need to change in your life. You know what structures and routines are outdated, are no longer. It says if you've been thinking of taking a leap of faith and doing things differently in your personal life, in your creative work, then this is another message to trust your instincts and to go for it. This oracle comes at a time when the patterns of your life are shifting. You can take advantage of the shift and leap into an entirely new level of consciousness and experience. This is not time for self-doubt or playing small. It is time to get in touch with the courage, boldness, and daredevil within, and to take that step, big or small, into the future that is beckoning you forward. You have the wings to fly. Sometimes we don't realize it until we leap over the edge of what we have known and we begin to soar into a new life. There is an affirmation here. It's super long, but I do want to just read it so that you guys trust my instincts. Placing your hand on your lower belly, underneath your belly button. I trust in the flow of life. Then put your hand on either of those three spots. I'm going to put mine back on my heart. Say, I trust myself. I trust in my higher self. I trust in life. When I don't know, my higher self does know. I am guided by the wise voice of my higher self within my heart. I trust myself, and I allow myself to be guided in all things by the wise instinctive knowing within. I am not afraid to be seen. I unveil myself from my hiding places and step in. I am going to address my Twitter friend who's commenting here. You guys won't be able to see it on other media. I encourage you to face what you feel lies within you, my dear, and sit with it and listen through it and to be open to discovering more. The things that are deep down within yourself aren't at the core of your being. They are the things that you perhaps have shoved down, that you haven't wanted to feel, that you haven't wanted to address. And that's to love others. And I know that you can reach that if you want to. And if you don't, or if this doesn't resonate, that's okay too. We all have our own journey and our experience of things. I hope that helps though. Okay. So what we're going to do for our getting into our readings for where Saturn shows up in your chart, we're going to draw 2 cards. So don't leave me yet, because I'm going to describe what the cards are so I don't have to say it every reading. So this is going to be, the first card is going to represent what was going on, the energy of what you were learning last year when Saturn went retrograde. Okay, this is to do this interpretation at that time. And then I'm going to draw another card about what you're learning this time around. Okay, so we're going to kind of see the evolution of from where you were May and October through October last year to where you're going to be June to October this year. Okay, I'm going to draw the cards. You guys can hang around and watch me draw the cards, or you can skip ahead if you're watching the replay to your specific reading. Okay, so let's find out for I always say for Aquarius. Oh no, sorry. For Aries, Saturn and Aries. Let's find your 2 cards. Show me. Okay. There you guys are. Okay, this is the first one. In Cancer. There you are. Alrighty. We're gonna do Saturn in Leo. That was last year. That's this year. Okay. Leo. Now we're moving on to Virgo. Saturn and Virgos. Get your cards. Okay, this is Saturn in Virgo, and Saturn and Libra came out at the same time. We're also gonna look for Saturn in Scorpio. Beautiful. Moving on to Saturn in Capricorn. Okay. All right, let's find out Saturn in Capricorn this year. This is Saturn in Aquarius this year. Happy Saturn return, Saturn in Aquariuses. Hope you're having fun with that. And let's find out Saturn in Pisces. There you go. Okay, getting specific here. You know, everyone has their own perspective on truth, my beautiful Twitter friend. Dan Jamaica 1. And discipline, structure, and routine. You're going to have the qualities of Aries. Well, what are the qualities of Aries? It's the ram energy. It's like the spark that starts everything. It's generous, optimistic, enthusiastic, courageous, and independent. So just generally be aware of how your structure and your discipline and your routine in your life expresses itself, and know that the Aries archetype is actually how is most natural for your energy field, is most known to your energy field for a way of structuring itself, and kind of review how you could be more Aries-like when it comes to your structure and routine. But we're going to get specific with the Modern Mystic Tarot by Crystal Doty. She is my mentor. She's one who trained me in all of this. So here's what was going, sort of class, some sort of learning, some sort of book or training course. And it might be sorry, I got totally lost in the train of thought. Maybe that's just it for you. So this is the energy of what you were learning last year about your structure and your routine, how to structure your discipline, how to discipline your routines and structures in aiming towards learning about the material world. And now a queen is the royal energy. Earth is the material realm, the physical world. So you have this royal earthly energy. It does have to do with finances and money. You know, she just has pretty much everything. And another thing that you might want to add into your structures and your routines and your discipline is to ground yourself. This word grounding is on here. And so just take your shoes off and put your feet in the earth, even for like 10 to 15 minutes a day, or however often you can think of it during this retrograde period. Is really going to help you keep grounded. It's already put into place what you learned about finances and manifesting last year, May to October. Definitely implement that this year, June to October, because it's June 4th to, oh, the date's right there for you guys. Okay. If you have any questions, always let me know. Okay. But we will move on. As always, namaste, my Saturn in Aries. The universal light in me salutes and honors the universal light in you. So we will move on to have these energies present in them. So it feels like there must be some sort of practice that you have that keeps you outside, that helps you be grounded, that helps you be, that has to do with your home. The structures and routines of your home are very, very, very important, because the home is kind of the realm of this Taurus energy. And I encourage you to review this Taurus influence and the structures, habits, and routines of your life. And you can ask yourself, maybe how you can embody this energy more in this area and learn more about this energy from now until October. Let's find out what you were learning during the retrograde period last year. You may have actually started some sort of routine or structure around like routinely talking to your family. Like for me, when my family stopped eating together, my family stopped communicating, because that was when we communicated the most. That's when we made plans. That's when we shared whatever was coming up with us. That's when we really connected the most. So when my family and I stopped eating together, we really stopped communicating. So it might be that last year you had this sort of shift in structures and routines. You really kind of saw the value of routine communication with a group of people. Again, this is all in the humanitarian sign, the Aquarian sign. So it might be that there's a group of people that you started meeting with that has this Aquarian, this humanitarian, community-centered, humanity-centered focus. But that's kind of the energy that I'm getting from this card. And again, you can all Saturn in Tauruses. This is where you're going this year with this retrograde. Knight of Earth. Seeking prosperity, hardworking, persistent, finish what you started. Ooh. So I would say if you started something last year, May through October, whatever you started in that time frame, this is the time to really finish it, really put yourself into that hard work. Maybe there was lots of conversations that needed to happen to get that off the ground, and now the seeds have been planted and it's time to move forward with it. Your structures and your routines are, this card I would actually say has a very Saturn energy to it itself. Hardworking, persistent, right? And that's what we're talking about when we talk about discipline. We're not by staying committed to what it is that you started. Maybe the practices that you started. Maybe you started a practice last year and you let it go. Or there's something that you've been wanting to pick back up. But definitely anything in the realm of humanitarian efforts and supports that you started and then let down, now's the time to pick it back up. Now's the time to add it back into your routine, add it back into your schedule, add it back into your daily life, and move forward with it. And it's probably linked to those conversations that you were having last year as you were learning about how to move more of a conversational focus into your daily energies or your structures and your routines, your habits. Hope that makes sense for you. Saturn in Taurus. Let me know if you have questions. And as always, namaste. Routine and discipline in your life has to deal with the Gemini archetype. Now, the Gemini archetype is the twin energy. So it's the energy of something being the same but different. It's the energy of, it has the qualities of wit, cleverness, adaptability. I have adaptability here twice and I totally forgot to change that. Oops. And imagination. So when it comes to your structures and routines, be adaptable. Let yourself off the hook if you start something and then you change it, because your energy in the structure and routine is adaptable. Your structures and routines need to be adaptable in order for you to actually have healthy structures and routines and habits. If you start something and you bullheadedly try to continue it when it's not working for you, when you go really good for your structures and your routines to give you time to be imaginative. If you don't have time in your structure and your routine to like in your day for just being just coming up with new ideas and new things, make time for that and be imaginative in the structures in your routines. You don't have to do what everyone else does. If you just have this inner voice saying do this, do that. Let's see what your energies are and see if I can come up with a better way to be imaginative. Oh, I spelled imaginative without a V. Oh, so many mistakes on that card. Embarrassing. Sorry, guys. Okay. Well, anyway. This was what was going on last year. Ahaha, that's hilarious. Okay, so last year during Saturn retrograde, you were in retrograde. So to look at the same things that you've been doing and review the past is a lot of what was going on, and a lot of acceptance of what was going on last year when it came to your structures and your routines and your discipline. That's what you were kind of learning during this time. And this is what you're going to be learning this year. Interesting. So these are two major arcana cards. So this is big energy for you, Saturn and Geminis. So now this year you're going to be learning about the moon. So the moon card's coming through to talk about intuition, trusting in the unseen and secrets. Now let's bring back up the inner trust card, because that was talking about trusting in your intuition. You might want to structure your routines and disciplines and goals around the moon. This moon card for me is always talking about utilizing the cycles of the moon to support your goals and efforts. So new moons are planning phases. Full moons are full expression phases. Structure and discipline around it. Resting during the new moon, not going out and partying on that time, really going within, allowing yourself to start something new at that time. And for the full moon, allow yourself to celebrate where you are, allow yourself to be creative at that time, expressive at that time, allow yourself to be fully immersed in a project at that time. That's when you want to be doing your writing, that's when you want to be doing your creating, that's when you want to be like putting your energy outward, right? If you think about the feminine cycle, the new moon is the flow and the full moon is ovulation, where there's all this energy and life and potential. Yeah, that's what's going on for you, Saturn and Geminis. I hope you enjoy your retrograde season. Let me know if you have any questions. Follow my other readings if you have. Hello, Saturn in Cancer. Welcome into your part of the reading. So your discipline, structure, and routine has Cancer qualities to it. Cancer archetype is the crab. I like to think of it like as a beachy energy, but also as like a hard exterior and a really soft interior. And the energies are loyal, caring, emotional, responsive, and dependable. So your structures and your routines are most aligned and supported for you when they have these qualities, when they are around these things. So like if your structures and your routines allow you to express your care towards others, that's going to be supportive for you. If your structures and your routines allow yourself to process your emotions, to sit with your emotions, to express your emotions, that's going to be supportive for you. Your structures and your routines, you're probably somebody who's very dependent, easily follows through on those things. Or if you don't, excuse me, hold on. Wasn't meant to say that, so I'm going too fast. Okay, so think about these qualities and how they relate to you personally and how you can structure your life to embody these qualities more and more if it feels aligned to you. Let's find out what was going on last year for you, what you were learning during the Saturn retrograde period. Six of Earth. It says gifts of time, money, and resources, new career, and paying off debts. So this is the energy of what you were learning about last year. When it comes to your structures and your routines, maybe you changed some sort of financial spending or giving habit. Maybe change the way that you spent your time. Maybe you made more time for yourself last year and that was really supporting you. Maybe you paid off debts, maybe aside money so that you could pay off debts. Okay. This year, you're stepping into a more leadership role. So this year you're learning about balanced leadership during this retrograde. You're being very articulate, direct, professional. You're speaking your mind with confidence. And remember, this focus of this retrograde is the humanitarian efforts. So your support for your community, for our human collective, is going to come through you sharing what it is that you know. He's speaking in front of a group. This is the speaking in front of a group energy, whether that's a small group in your community, whether that's electronically like I'm doing, or whether it's in some sort of workshop where there's a big group of people. But this is you speaking your mind with confidence, especially when it comes to the things that are really calling to you to do. Change your structures to involve talking in front of people, involve leading a group of people towards a common goal. That's really the energies that are coming through here. And again, allow yourself to connect with your intuition, allow yourself to connect with that inner truth, trust that inner guidance when it comes to where the best venues are, where the best opportunities are, how you can work this into your discipline, your structure, your routine, and let yourself be guided in this realm, because we need you. Human collective is needing you to step into your leadership in a balanced way. This is a king energy. This is the royal energy of the expression of air, which is the communicative element. Yes? Okay. That is what's going on for your retrograde, my beautiful Saturn and Cancers. Thank you so much for your support. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. Saturn and Leo, hello, welcome in. So Saturn was in Leo when you were born. What does this mean? It means that the structures, routines, and habits of your life are most supportive to you when they have this Leo quality. So Leo is the archetype of the lion. It's dramatic, it's generous, it's confident, it's expressive, and it's encouraging. And it's this energy of, yeah, just like being like a lion and roaring. So this is influencing your structures and your routines. So if your routines don't allow you to be expressive, it's probably something you want to look at. Even if you're not allowing yourself to be dramatic, like allow yourself to be dramatic, allow yourself to create space in your schedule for drama, but constructive drama, where you can be expressive, where you can be confident, and also create structures and routines around being generous. Like maybe you want to join a charity. That again, this is the humanitarian focus with this in the Aquarian sign. Perhaps that's something that's going to be really supportive for you, because routines around your generosity are natural to you. They feel good to you, and showing up for them is really going to be supportive for you. Yes? Let's find out what was going on during Saturn retrograde last year for you. Karma card. Hello. Legal issues, cause and effect, and karmatic balancing was going on for you last year. You were kind of learning about this. You were maybe getting lessons in how where you spend your time and energy is impacting what it is that you're receiving, what it is that you're seeing in your life, what it is that's going on for you. There's maybe some legal battles that you were in and you were having to change your life. Yes? Okay. Let's see what's going on this Saturn retrograde. Ooh. And this card flipped over. It was like big energy. Eight of Earth. Learning all there is to know about a subject, school or training. So it seems like your routines and disciplines are going to involve some sort of training course, some sort of class, some sort of diving into something that you've been wanting to dive into. And that's going to be a part of your daily routine and structure during this retrograde period. Yeah, what is the subject? Find your answer, okay? When I said that, if you knew right away, if you had a feeling right away, if you're like, maybe it's this, it is that. Okay, if you don't have anything come through, just be open to discovering what it is. Go for the book, add time to read. I would say if you have any books at home right now, if you don't know what this is, and if you're not gonna like stop watching this and go sign up for the class or training or whatever, I would say grab a book that you've been wanting to read, any books that are teaching you something or helping you learn about a subject deeper. If you have any books in your house for that and you haven't read them yet, pick it up and put it into your routine. Replace a habit that isn't serving the human collective at this time and pick up something else. So like if there's time that you set aside every day to watch your favorite program, maybe set that time aside to learn about the subject instead. And I would say that subjects that have humanitarian focuses are probably more relevant with these energies where they are. But really, you can help humanity just by putting yourself in a better place, just by diving into something that you're passionate about. Whether or not you can see how that helps the collective right now or not, know that it will, okay? Yeah, and we are more confident the more we know about a subject. So this is definitely going to help you in this confidence area too. And what you're learning might actually be something that involves structure and routine. You might actually be learning a whole new way of being. Like you might add a meditation practice in because of what you're learning, or it just feels like there's some sort of shift in your structure and routine beyond making time for this learning. The learning itself is going to facilitate a shift in the structure and routine as well. That's what it feels like for me. Okay. Saturn in Leos, that is your reading for Saturn retrograde. Thank you so much for your support. Reach out if you have questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light in me salutes and honors the universal light within me. Namaste. Hello, Saturn in Virgo. Well, Virgo is the energy of the Virgin, the innocent archetype. It has the qualities of being helpful, precise, reliable, analytical, and observant. So in your structures, your disciplines, your routines, your habits, the ones that focus on these elements are going to be the most supportive for you. The ones that help you be analytical, the ones that involve analyzing things, the habit structures and routines, no, I'm not even going to say that. If you have structures and routines around allowing you to be helpful, you know, like helping out around the house or helping around in your community by volunteering. These are habits that are actually really supportive for you. Ones that when you're very precise in your habits, like you have something that you do and you show up every day and you do it at the same time, this feels really good to you. This gives you a sense of reliability that is. And there's also this wanting to observe what's happened and what you've learned about yourself, what you've learned about what you want in the future, to kind of have that review phase. The review energy is very important for you when it comes to structuring your life around having time for that, but also around reviewing what is working for you habit-wise and what isn't on a regular basis and shifting it as needed. Okay, let's find out what was going on for you last year. During this time, this is such an interesting, hilarious card to get at this moment. So last year you were learning about how to honor the mysteries. So this is an optional card in the deck. It doesn't come up very frequently. It's a card that talks about honoring the mystery of life, and that sometimes there are things that require faith in the face of uncertainty. So this was a lesson that you were learning. Sometimes this card can mean it's better for you not to know. Card is talking about last year and you were just kind of like, I just gonna take it day by day and let it happen, and I just have faith that everything will work out. This is kind of the energy that I'm feeling for this retrograde period last year, which was again May to October. Yeah, that's all I have. Let's find out the energies of what you're learning this year. Interesting. You're having a shift in perspective this year. So this is an awakening, an epiphany, a looking at things differently, and lightening up. So it's a big shift from having faith in the universe and just feeling in this like scary, like unknown place where your discipline, your structure, and your routines just kind of like up in the air, and you're just trying to flow with it as best as possible and have faith in it as much as possible. This is like a whole new different understanding, a new level of awareness that you're having, a new perspective that's unfolding for you. And this perspective, again, we have to tile this back to the humanitarian energies of the Saturn retrograde because of the Aquarian influence. This awakening, this epiphany, this lightening up is around the human collective energy, around what you feel about the human collective, around what it is that you're doing to contribute to the human collective. You know, one of the greatest things that I've heard about this is like when you get overwhelmed, there's so much that needs to be done, there's so much that feels out of our power and influence. Just start where you are. Just start in the community that you're in, and just start at your own job that you're in. Change how you show up, and you will see that the change in the environment around you is reflected. Okay? And it feels like this kind of energy where you're realizing that how you're structuring your discipline and your routine in your eye at any point during this retrograde. Be aware of what it was that you were feeling and thinking in that moment, because it might be indicating that you aren't seeing through the eyes of love and you need a change of perspective. This lightening up energy is calling you. And also just adding some sort of habit that helps you feel light. Like for me, it's just putting on music and dancing. That helps me feel light, right? And creating time for that. And sometimes what I do to create time for something that I want is something that I'm struggling with changing in habit. Like I know I need to stop this, but I can't. I usually try to like replace that with this thing that I want to do instead. So like for me, video game binging, like hi Twitch, I'm on Twitch, right? Like I watch Twitch streamers, and I should stop binge watching those drama TV shows or those Jerry Springers or whatever it is, right? That you're like, I probably should stop doing that. That's what you replace this like practice of lightening up, whatever lightening up is for you. Watching a comedy instead, maybe, you know, but add that into your routine and structure, something that lightens things up. And again, that eye message that came through, if you get something in your eye, you change your perspective on what it is that you're looking at. Here's the thing that's really been helping me shift my perspective, and hopefully this helps you too. Everything that happens is either love or a call for love. That's it. So can you look at the world through this lens? And can that help you lighten up a little bit? To be less judgmental, to be less energy that I'm feeling, like it's like dismissive. In the salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. Hello, Saturn in Libras. Welcome into your reading. So your discipline, structure, and routine has the Libra archetype around it, which means that when it comes to how you structure your life, the habits that you have, the routines that you set for yourself, it's most supportive when they're embodying or allowing you to embody through the practice itself or through the focus of the practice, the Libra archetype. The Libra archetype is about balance. It's the scales. And the energies are graceful, peaceful, idealistic, hospitable, and diplomatic. Set aside just for your own peace, like going for a walk in nature by yourself, just being in a peaceful setting and breathing it in and not needing to do anything or accomplish anything. That's actually more restorative and productive for you than trying to get something done. It's also the hospitable energy. So you might be somebody who likes to host. So your structures and your routines might involve relationships, might involve being in communion with others. That's very supportive for you to have as a foundation for your life. Yeah. And you can think about how these other energies might be playing out in your structures and your routines, and get, I said play and work too. I don't know. Let's find out what was going on Saturn retrograde last year for you. Well, last year when you were reviewing discipline, structure, and routine, Ace of Water energy was prevalent. I don't know if it's going to focus for you guys. It's a little hard to see with this lighting. Sorry. It says new love, enhanced intuition, and new home. So it feels like there was a new relationship or a new housing situation that was throwing all your structures and routines up in the air last year. You were kind of displaced, it feels like, maybe. But in this, like, you were really excited about this change. Up somewhere else in my reading, because I was my eye again. Okay. If anything, so whenever I touch my eye, it's not seeing through the eyes of love. That's the message. So since it's happening in your reading, I'm just going to let you know that if your eye is ever bothering you, or you got to stick your finger in it like I did, there's just a message for you to stop and notice whether or not you were seeing through the eyes of love in that moment. And just ask yourself, can I be seeing through the eyes of love more right now? And be open to a feeling sense or an answer to that question of how you can see through love a little bit more. Just touch. Everything you touch turns to gold. I would say that structures, routines, and habits that you're putting into place at this time are very supportive for you. Check and see if you have this kingly, earthly energy to it. Like, ask yourself, is this something a noble king would be doing for his, what are they called? His kingdom, right? His people. Because this is the humanitarian energy that this Saturn is retrograde in. And so it's really with this focus of reliability, success, and having this everything you touch turns to gold vibration. And it might be that the new home, the love, and the enhanced intuition that happened last year was also humanitarian focused. Like, you might have moved to a new place that was more community centered. You might have a new relationship or partnership that is more focused on what you guys can do for the collective, that kind of thing. Just bringing in that Aquarian energy back into this part of the reading. But yeah, I reach out to support people that you're guided to. Make it a habit of acts of kindness, acts of generosity. Like, plan like a day to just like day every month or day every week or day every day or a moment every day, that whatever feels reasonable for you, to just be generous, to just like take someone out to eat because you know they're struggling, or whatever it is, to buy someone a gift, or to sit down and have a conversation with somebody. It just feels like this is a really awesome energy that you're in, and I'm just inviting you to create time in your structure, in your routine, in your life, to share with others, to be generous, to like actually put on your calendar, I am going to give today. That's your reading, Saturn and Libras. Thanks so much for your support, and as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. Okay, Saturn in Scorpio. Hello and welcome in. Your structure, discipline, and routine, habits in your life are most aligned when they have the Scorpion archetype. The Scorpio archetype, which is the Scorpion energy. It also is the energy of being dynamic, observant, unyielding, passionate, and resourceful. So it feels like when you are unyielding in the routines and habits that you set for yourself to support yourself, that's when it's most supportive for you. When you have time to be passionate, when you set time aside for your passion every day or every week, whatever's practical for you, you are most supporting yourself. It's a very it's part of what makes you feel supported. It's part of what makes you feel alive. It's part of what feels natural to you. And I would also say, with Saturn being in Aquarius right now, to focus on the passions that have to do with how you can help humanity. Yes? Okay. Let's find out what was going on during retrograde for you last year. Interesting. So last year around this time was traditions were kind of being switched around, and routines and habits were being put into place around spirituality, ceremony, using spiritual tools, right? But just looking at it as a sacred time. But this was what's happening for you May to October last year. You were kind of learning about how perhaps to set structure and routine around a spiritual practice. And let's see how it's evolving this year. Ooh. So this year, the energy of the retrograde has this Knight of Air energy. Knights are always on quests. And this one is a quest for knowledge. And in this quest, he is self-assured, fearless, and events occur with great speed. So there is this... It feels linked to the traditions card. It feels like the knowledge you're questing for is about ceremony. And... yeah, it feels like as you make time for your passions, as you make time for your ceremonies, your spiritual expression, you are becoming more self-assured and more fearless and that's in enabling events to occur with great speed for you. And as events occur with great speed, it's very supportive for us to have routine and structure that we can rely on. So throughout this retrograde period, really ask yourself, how can I embody the energy of the Scorpion? And the Scorpion is this beautiful archetype of like diving deep into the sand to find that one drop of water, right? To dive deep into things and to come up with the liquid of life, the elixir of life, right? That's this quest too, right? It's like the Scorpion's questing for the water as you're questing for knowledge. It feels like you're going in within. You might be diving into a spiritual book, an energy of ceremony and reflection, and you might even have some sort of structure and routine about a ceremony that you want to bring into your space. So whether that's like a meditation ceremony every night, or whether that's a plant ceremony that you want to engage in, or it's some sort of moon ceremony, or some sort of whatever that means to you, right? Everyone has their own background and their own words and their own habits. Like going to church is a ceremony for you, and maybe that's something that you dive deeper into, those kinds of things. Okay, enjoy your Saturn retrograde, my beautiful Saturn in Scorpios. One last thing, we are talking about the humanitarian energy here, so I do feel like the events that are occurring with great speed are involving your service to humanity. Salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. Hello, Saturn and Sagittarius. How are you? Welcome into your reading for this retrograde. So, Saturn was in Sagittarius when you were born. So that means the structures and routines that you set for yourself are most supported and aligned for you when they embody the Sagittarian archetype. That is the energy of the archer, which is like focusing on what you want and shooting at it, aiming at it. It's a very dreamer energy. It's a very likable energy. It's a very optimistic, intellectual, and independent energy. So if you're not making time in your schedule and your routine to dream, to focus on your dreams, to dream board, to dream journal, to talk about your dreams, to take steps towards your dreams, that is something that might be blocking you in your life, because your structures and your routines want to have dream-like energies. You actually probably need some sort of routine that is just you, some sort of structure, some sort of habit, some sort of ceremony or ritual that is just for you, because you are an independent, like your structure and routine wants to be independent of other people. So there has to be some sort of time and space and unfolding in your life that has that vibration. I am Saturn in Sagittarius, so I'm right there with you. What's going on? Let's see what was going on for us last year during this time. We were learning about this, taking time to heal, learning to forgive from a wound, okay? And having someone, like, if we're holding a grudge, it's hard to be likable. And these are all qualities that really are supporting us in our Saturn placement. So this is what was going on last year. You were kind of healing from something. You were letting something go. You were seeing new layers of it that you didn't see before, that invited you to more forgiveness. And let's see what's going on this year. How does this evolve? Oh, I love it. Yay. Good for us. It's the Seven of Earth. So it's receiving the seeds of your labor. It's seeds well planted. It's seeing results. So you're seeing results of this forgiveness work you're doing. You're seeing just trying to think if there's any advice for you. Not really receiving anything else for us here. Receiving efforts. Yeah, I'm just feeling like some sort of gardening for you, or some sort of nature structure routine habit. It's gonna be really supportive for you. And I was also just feeling share your wealth, share the fruit of your labor with others. So Saturn is in Capricorn for you when you were born, which means that your structures, routines, and disciplines are most supportive for you when they have the Capricornian archetype, which is the archetype of the goat climbing up the mountain one step at a time, you know, achieving great heights where it seems impossible through just taking one step at a time. It's a very patient, ambitious, determined, responsible, and resourceful energy. So when your structures and your routines allow you to express this and are created around these energies, it's very supportive for you. So what does that mean? Well, it means that it's all about putting one foot in front of the other. So this is a very aligned part of your life, and when you're harnessing this towards what it is that you want to do to help the human collective, you are probably one of the most powerful out of all of us when it comes to setting structures and routines and what it is that you can accomplish, because this alignment is so fortuitous for you. Let's see what's going on this time last year for you. Okay. Last year you were in the Knight of Fire energy, which was searching for motivation. It's impatient, it's adventurous, it's daring, it's needing to think things through. But what I was really feeling when I flipped this card over was you were searching for motivation. So it's like you're kind of trying to make something happen because nothing that was going on in the human collective might have been really stressing you out. You might have really been like, oh, I need to do something. But everything that you tried to do wasn't really thought through on a deeper level of like what it is that you can express, what it is that's meaningful to you, what it is that you're called to do and best suited to do in the position that you are in right now. And so this kind of energy was at play during the Saturn retrograde last year, which was May to October last year. Let's find out how it evolves this year. Aww. You got the Page of Water here. It's all about learning, intuition. And remember, the inner trust card, implement that, or just creating time for yourself to touch base with your intuition, to tap into it, like doing third eye work, like third eye chakra work, and just having conversations with your inner being, setting time aside, adding time in your ritual and your routine to talk to your inner child. Like this is inner child energy. This is lighthearted energy. This is like just that child energy where like there's no bills to pay, there's no drama in the world, life is good. This is important for you in your heart right now. It's going to help you with your ambitions. It's going to help you be more determined and responsible when you've had this time to dream and be intuitively guided and to reflect. So yeah, that's this inner trust, this listening to what your body's telling you is right for you and not right for you, this allowing your magic to be expressed, this finding your magic, like whatever you feel you're magical doing, make time in your day for that. Make time in your week for your magic, whatever that means to you. Yeah? Okay. Love you so much. Saturn in Capricorns, thank you for your support. I don't know what got cut off and what didn't. Saturn in Aquarius, so hopefully this is still running. Please don't cut off again. So Saturn in Aquarius, happy Saturn return. If you don't know what Saturn return is, go ahead and look it up. There's a life for lots of shifts, lots of aligning with who you really are and what you came here to do. So let's just get into what was going on for you last year. You were clearing up a lot of drama in the home. no-win situations, lots of feeling defeated, abandoned, dishonored, hostility. Definitely feels like a couple energy here, like maybe in a relationship, maybe in a parenting situation, in the home for sure. And yeah, it was really shaking things up for you. And shaking up your structure and routine. Like you just didn't feel like you could get like a steady structure in your routine. And this year, woohoo! Much for your energy during this retrograde. You're going to take a leap of faith, your structure, your routine, and your discipline. This is where you're most aligned. Remember, Saturn is in Aquarius right now. So this is the most aligned movement of this planet for you. And it's offering you this great opportunity to shift your life dramatically and create your dreams. And I'm so excited for you. Whatever habits, structures, and routines you need to put in place to take this risk, go ahead and do it. It's time. This is a big confirmation of that. And use the inner trust card, which was a general message for all of us. Let your intuition guide you. Let your inner knowing be accessible to you at all times. Just let yourself stop. Move your focus from your head to your heart. We all need you to. And as always, namaste. The universal light in me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste. Alrighty, last but not least, we have Saturn in Pisces. Your discipline, structure, and routine has the Pisces archetype, which is the two fishes, which basically represents the beginning and end at the same time, swimming together as one. It's a devoted, sensitive, accepting, imaginative, and compassionate vibration. So when your structures, routine, and discipline allow yourself to express these energies, it's also really important for you to have time to be imaginative, to create like an hour of time every day or every week where you're just like, I'm just going to create something new and I don't care what it is and I don't need to do anything with it. I don't need to make money with it. I don't need to justify it. I don't need to send it to anybody. I just need to do it. I just need to be imaginative. I just need to create. And compassion is a big part of your structure and routine. So you might want to, you're someone who probably thrives off charity work, off adding in your structure and routine time for you to express your compassion, especially with this Saturn in Aquarius, which is all about supporting the human collective. Together, things were very supportive for you. And let's see what was going on this year. So this year is the Chariot energy. Willpower, determination, on the fast track, adventure, and achievement. So you're going places, baby. You are moving forward. Your structures and your routines are taking you places. And you are on a path of adventure, a path of achievement. And it's taking willpower and determination to get there. Resonated with that vibration, that's going to take you even further. It feels kind of like an evolution of that. Like you're going somewhere now with these dreams. And it's really taken off for you, which is awesome. I'm really excited for you. And again, it does feel like it's focused on what you came here to do. What you came here to express, what you came here to experience, what you came here to offer the world. You are on the fast track of that trajectory. Yes? Awesome. If you have any questions, let me know. Short and sweet for you, my beautiful Saturn in Pisces. Thank you so much for your support. And, as always, namaste. The universal light within me